For me, sport happened very naturally. Ever since, and I've mentioned this many times, ever since I have any recollection of memories, I know that I've had the cricket bat in my hand. So where the influence came from, I have no idea. Like I can't claim that I saw my brother or my father involved in some activities. I just knew that I had a cricket bat in hand, and that's going back to the earliest memory I have. So I think for me, it was meant to be. When I looked at a cricket bat, I knew that I want to have that bat in my hand and learn the skills that are attached to using that particular bat. So that's how my journey started. And then I used to watch a lot of games on TV, try to copy people who were playing, my heroes, try to copy their shots. And I was pretty decent at it. So there was a friend of mine, we used to live in a housing society back then. So he actually told my father, why don't you enroll him? He's pretty good. If he's able to copy the shots and play them almost the same way that these guys are playing, then you should probably think of, enrolling him into. So he asked me, do you want to learn this professionally? I said, yeah, I definitely do, and I love playing this sport. So that's how I got initiated into learning cricket in a cricket academy, which was still is called West Delhi Cricket Academy, which I went there for the first time to learn, and I'm still with the same coach. So that's a brief start of my particular cricketing and sporting journey. So when I did things that I did, I never felt like, what are people going to say? Never. I just did them. Afterwards, I felt, because of the constant interactions I had with press and post-match presentation, presenters, I just felt like there was always something else. Like if I didn't perform as a batter, there was, captaincy is okay, but what about batting? If I performed as a batsman and we lost, batting is okay, but what about captaincy? If everything was fine, but your behavior is not good. So I was like, well, I'm never going to be able to please everyone. So I thought, might as well just be myself, and even if I go down like this, at least I'll be okay with the fact that I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And if people don't want to accept it at a large scale, that's okay. I've had a great, run, and things have been wonderful. I can't complain. So I had to kind of accept a lot of things within myself, but that didn't mean that I stopped being who I am. I just didn't care about what people thought or if they accepted me or not. This is something that I learned through sport. And even the conversation that we're having about sport should be given importance. In no way or by no means are we saying that leave studying and take sports as a career. But what sport does is, if one really immerses themselves into sport, what sport taught me was to take a risk. Because there comes a situation when you are absolutely under pressure and there's no option but to jump. But for that jump to happen, you should have done enough practice, enough consistent work on a daily basis to believe in yourself that even if I jump, I have the ability to make sure that I don't, fade away, to be safe or to save myself. So, but sport does push you in that direction, and there's a reason why people can feel the same emotion and the same tension in one moment in sport, in a united way, that very hardly any other thing can make you feel like that. And what the thing that you mentioned about the World Cup, we felt like everyone felt the pressure and everyone felt united. Of course, there was the occasion as well, but that was one example, and I feel so grateful that I was part of that experience where everyone felt like they were together watching something and they felt the same emotions. People who saw it and I spoke to afterwards as well said the same thing. I've never experienced something like that. So what sport taught me, and I think that can apply to every other walk of life, is you have to take risks. There is nothing called safe options. You can try and be safe for a certain amount of time, but at certain points in everyone's life, a huge amount of pressure is going to hit you. You cannot run away from it. I haven't met a person who can claim that I've had a perfect life. I've had no pressures, no situation where I had to take a call where things could have gone absolutely one way in a negative sense, but then I came out 2 months later and I felt like that was the best decision of my life. I haven't met any person yet. I mean, If there is someone, I would love to meet them and know what that life is like. But I haven't. Till now, I have faced many challenges. The only option I had was to follow my heart. And make a decision. And not care about whether I'm going to succeed or fail. And every time I've done that, I have come out as a better person, and things have turned out well. There is nothing called absolute safety. I haven't experienced that. So sport has taught me that, which can apply to every other walk of life as well. But you need to be absolutely involved in what you're doing. For me, I love playing cricket. So when I love something, I give my life to it. If you're that good at what you want to do, give your life to it. That's all I tell people. Don't be in between, because then you will want to work hard and make sure you do everything that's required to be able to succeed in that, or to do justice to the decision that you've made, right? So it is not a forced decision then, and this is what sport has taught me, that you go beyond your limits to do something for something that you love, whether it's your sport, whether it's your life partner, the person that we love, we go beyond our limits to do anything for them. The main focus is love. So find out what you actually love and go for it with absolute clarity.
I was very fortunate to be born in a very sporting family. I've said this 1,000 times. My mom is still probably the most talented sports person in my family. My father was always an avid sports person. Both of them played a lot of sports. So inculcating sports in my daily routine when I was younger wasn't difficult. To be honest, wasn't a choice, thankfully. And father was in army. He kept traveling. That's why we were, both me and my sister, we both were more closer to our mom. Most of our upbringing, most of our principles and the way we live life has come from my mom. And it was all in and around, directly or indirectly, with sports. So everything in our house was about sports, and all the teachings surrounding life was because of sports. And we only knew this, that it is strange when we met other kids. अपने घर पे लगता था यही normal है, ऐसा ही होता है, But when you met other kids, then you realize that it's different. I did not value it that much at that time कि हमारा घर different है. But now when I look back, I am so fortunate that I was born to my parents, because we had an amazing household to grow up. There was no push that you have to play one sport, or you have to play football, or you have to play any sport. More emphasis was given on the fact that you just go and express yourself. I think respecting elders and being disciplined was mandatory at my household. Other than that, do whatever you want, try to be honest. And probably because of the genetics, I was always into sports. So I never had to try hard. And as any young kid, all of us when we were younger, one day we wanted to be Leander Pace. The next day we were Tendulkar. The next day you were Vishwanath Anand. We all have gone through that phase. So I was no different. So every other day I thought, this is what I'm going to be. And it kept changing. And at that time, I think parental pressure wasn't that much. Very sadly, nowadays I see if you see a lot of mothers and dads accompanying their kids to an academy, yahi banna hai, yahi karna hai. At that time, probably my parents didn't even have that much of time. So my mom never came to my training and said, "Tu kuch kar raha nahi kar raha hai." She just asked me whether you enjoyed it or not, and that was about it. So yeah, I think that was one of the best upbringings, as I said, that I could have asked for. Got to do those trigonometries, you got to do those science and history, and you got to come back. It does not matter what you want to be, but this is what it is. And at that time, I didn't feel bad because मैं अकेला नहीं था, सभी वही कर रहे थे. Wednesday को 2 होते थे पीरियड पीटी वाले, वाइट कपड़े पहन लो. पहला पीरियड तो चिल्लाने में निकल गया because you were so happy. और सेकंड पीरियड जब तक आप सोचोगे खेलना क्या है, टीचर ने दोबारा बुला लिया. I was a little bit mischievous, so I had that 1 hour, one period extra bunking. Kids who are listening, do not do it. Don't advertise that. But yes, I mean, I have a funny anecdote. So I was in class. You guys are not getting bored, na? Time in aapke paas. So I was in class 11th, and I came late. My class teacher, she was an economics teacher, and she was a class teacher, and she scolded me for being late. I went to training and came back, and I was frustrated. I don't know, maybe I didn't have breakfast. So I said I do not want to pursue economics. I want to be a football player, and I give the whole analogy that some of us want to be an engineer and doctor. They get 16 classes per week, all the usual stuff. I got only 2. There is no practical, this, that. She heard me, and at the end, she was very nice. She said, "Shut up, sit down, study." So I sat down, started reading. Economics I was all right at, because you didn't have to mug up. But rest, Abhishek, I had to mug up so much. And then I gave my exams. Did all right because I was sharp, because I'm a sports person. We all are sharp. So I was sharp. I could grasp things easily. And at that level, 9, 10, there's nothing new. 2 plus 2 then and now always remains 4. Nothing changes. So didn't have to work much harder to study. And that's why I talk to the kids nowadays who are into sports, and I tell them, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time and not studying? That's the easier part. Dribbling somebody is more difficult. Every day you got to dribble in a different manner. Scoring a goal is a ball coming, bounce is a different. The match is same. The Bloody Sunday or the history or the Jallianwala Bagh questions all are same. You wrote the same answer, I wrote the same answer. It's same and it's easy.
Yeah.
Till class 10th. Don't quote me there. Till class 10, studies are easy. Anyone can have decent marks if you study a little bit. But that's the sad part about the sports people. We tend to not put that much of time on studies.
Yeah.
Which is the easier part. आधे घंटे book पढ़ लो बहुत है यार. That's what I did in 11th. I hardly studied, but I got decent marks. Didn't cheat at all, by the way. So yeah, I always have this stuff with the sports people that just study. It opens your horizon, Abhishek. You get more information. You learn more. A little bit of politics, a little bit of geography, a little bit of stuff doesn't hurt you. It just makes you sharper. And the ones who want to study only, play a little bit of sports, because it's going to make you a better human being and healthier. The right importance to sports. How we going to do it, I'm not the right person to say. A lot of smart people will do it. But I think sports should be an integral part of our upbringing. It should be, because I may be a little bit biased, but I know I'm not wrong. There's not one department individually which teaches a kid more holistically than sports. You can pick any form, but there is nothing that will teach a kid more holistically as big as sports. To be a good human being, to take losses, which is so important nowadays with kids, to do a chin up whenever you lose, to be healthy, which is a pandemic in our country now. Everything is covered by sports. So I think it is high time that we inculcate sports in our system right from when the kid is young and in school, because this teaches you so much.